This past weekend, TRISHA Paytas really shut her haters up because she was on SNL. I'm sure you guys have heard about it by now because it's been all over the internet, but we're going to talk about some of the reactions from TRISHA being on SNL, especially from Ethan Klein, because he was called out after an old clip of Frenemies resurfaced where this was the last thing he ever thought was going to happen. So we're going to spill on everything that has been said. This past weekend, Saturday Night Live truly shocked audiences when TRISHA Paytas appeared in one of the sketches. Paul Mescal was hosting with Shaboozey as the musical guest, and I don't think anyone would have ever guessed TRISHA Paytas would have joined in too, but she did, and her appearance has gone absolutely viral. The sketch she appeared in has over 1 million views now on YouTube. And it's gotten tons of conversation started as people genuinely are really happy for her, feeling like she's come such a long way and that she's just out here really living her dreams right now, not causing any drama or getting in scandals.
I can honestly give grace to TRISHA Paytas. I ain't gonna lie. Like, homegirl kind of did a 360, you know, with everything that was revealed in 2020. She had a few bumps in the road, but now she's at a point where she's generally, you know, being a good person. She really does. She supports black people. She supports people of color now, actually. Someone lets her know she did something up, she's gonna go ahead and apologize and do her best to do, better. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a person who holds grudges for real. So maybe that's why. But I don't know. TRISHA Paytas, I feel like she deserves all this wonderfulness in her life. Like, she deserves it.
After she made her appearance, she took to Instagram to say, "I'm on SNL and you're not," which is a reference to Sabrina Carpenter's performance on SNL when she sang that. But she continued, "But seriously, how is this real? Thank you at Faye Dunaway," which is Bone Yang, and the writers Bowen, Will, and Asha, and everyone on the show. I don't know what life is right now, trying to wrap my brain around what just happened. Did I dream it? I don't know. The comments were filled with tons of people congratulating her, and people were just mentioning how sick her enemies must be, naming Colleen, David, Jason, and Ethan Klein. And one thing is for sure, I know Jason Nash has got to be sick over this because TRISHA truly, when they were together, loved him so much throughout their relationship and just wanted to get that love reciprocated. But Jason was just too in love with everything that he was doing with David and stayed loyal to David in the end. And well, look at the situation now. Jason also talked about how he dreamed about being on SNL. He was an assistant to someone that was on SNL, but he always talked about wanting to be a cast member. And when it comes to David, well, the closest thing that he's ever come to being on SNL was when they made fun of his apology video back in 2021. So yeah, Jason's dreams of making it big with David, definitely down the drain when they did this sketch. But let's talk about Ethan Klein because this actually ended up being a pretty big story. In the Frenemies era, there was a time where TRISHA and Ethan were talking about Saturday Night Live, and she said that she wanted to be on. And Ethan literally said that he would cut his arm off if she was on because he just really couldn't fathom that ever coming to fruition.
I'll be just Kelly.
Also, I'd rather die than go on Saturday Night Live. Because it just seems like a lot of work. Not because I'm opposed. It just seems like a lot of work.
Lazy.
it's like
I'll take it. I'll be on it.
Yeah, you're not. You're. If you go on Saturday Night Live, I will. What's something really valuable I could put on the line?
Like what? What?
I'll cut my arm off. My whole arm.
I don't want your arm off. Jesus.
If you go on SNL, that's a threat. If you go on SNL, I'll cut my fucking arm off.
Oh my God. Jesus, so dark.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
And when I saw the title of H3 yesterday, I knew it was about to be good with the way the title was flat out making it known that they were going to address things, as the title was, "TRISHA was on SNL, so I'm cutting off my arm." In the episode, he did talk about her appearance, but not everyone loved this clip that went around of him talking about it.
Listen, she did a great job on her line. And I'll say, I wish I could show it. The crowd went crazy for her when she showed up, which was impressive. The amount of TRISHA fans were just happened to be in the SNLs.
And that she was on it as herself, not as another character. I thought that was really cool.
She showed up as the character in the sketch was having someone guest on their podcast.
Friend of the pod.
And she was showing up as that friend. So, yeah, she did good. She crushed it. She delivered those lines with grace and humor, and what a talent. I mean, Trisha's done a lot of cameos though. It's not just SNL. She's been on all kinds of She has like a weird thing for doing like cameos everywhere.
Ethan was getting ripped up in the comments on TikTok for downplaying the fact that Trisha was on SNL, with people saying, what a hater. Not Ethan downplaying literally everything. No, her line, so rude. I can feel the anger behind his words. What a hater, his tone. One person did say though, real fans know he is happy for her. And if you actually go and watch the actual episode, he was genuinely happy for her. Even though it did sound like he was downplaying how big of a deal her appearance was in another clip, he did talk about how he was happy with her and doesn't understand why people think that he wouldn't ever support her in these successes that she's been having.
God, I wish I could show you guys it. But yeah, she shows up, she delivers a line with lots of pizzazz, fully committed, nails every word. So I'm happy for her. And I don't know why people always think that I'm not happy for her one way or the other. Like, other than like when we first broke up, there was like a lot of drama, but like I feel like I've been nothing but supportive of her and wishing her well pretty much like since like 3 months after our breakup.
Now this is where things get kind of messy though, because Ethan gets very honest about his feelings towards Trisha, saying that he would be friends with her, but it's Moses that's the problem for him.
And I would be friends with her again so fast if it wasn't for Moses is just a creep and a scumbag. That's the only problem.
He was going back and reminiscing on old Frenemies episodes, and one of them was an episode where SNL was brought up once again, and he was trying to say that this was proof that he wasn't totally doubtful, just that in the original conversation, the one going viral, he just said that it was based on this idea of her hosting SNL that he would cut his arm off.
I mean, so like this is no matter where I go, I'll remember where I came from.
Yeah, right. You leave me in the trenches taking grenades and mustard gas as you're hosting SNL.
Hosting, see? Hosting.
Ooh, that's actually.
I
in your
said
favor,
it there
huh?
while you're hosting SNL.
Oh, that is.
It was verbalized.
This is a different day, though.
It's a different day, but
conversation.
I think I'm clarifying in my mind that that's what we...
Clarifying from another episode?
Yeah, that's what I had in my mind when she said she wanted to be on SNL.
I mean, yeah, I mean, clearly that is
That's
a point
the big
in your
ambition.
favor. Yeah.
And as he's watching these old clips, he is once again bringing up Moses, blaming him for keeping the two apart, and even says that he would like their kids to get together if possible.
I mean, it was always a little bit of a roller coaster with her, but like I knew it. I knew that. And
Yeah, that's why we.
And I was cool
Why
with
you
it.
wanted to do it. So.
Yeah, you're Gandhi, Ethan. 39
39
and 2 vlogs.
and 2 vlogs. But it's Moses who's whispering in her ear like worm tongue. I wish that I personally would love even just to like set up a play date for our kids. But what happened was the last time Hila was on the show, and we're like, maybe it's time to make it up for the kids. And then Moses clipped that and sent it to their mom to be like, see, they won't shut the up about me. And then now nobody's talking to him.
The whole thing is honestly just so sad, as fans of Frenemies wished things were different. But that's what Ethan had to say after it went around that he was being negative about the whole SNL dream back on Frenemies. I mean, People Magazine even wrote an article about it saying, Trisha Paytas makes SNL cameo 3 years after her podcast co-host said he'd cut his arm off if she ever made the show. Just so crazy. And Ethan even talked about this though. He was saying that it's ridiculous that this is what people are highlighting instead of just like praising Trisha for being on SNL. But I mean, there was a lot of praise. This was just a very crazy side story that was happening. But today, Trisha said that she was going to be dropping an episode on how this whole thing came to be, and that she was going to have Bowen Yang on her podcast, and that she also had a special announcement that she was going to be making at her live show tonight. No clue on what it could be, but certainly sounds like it's gotta be big.
Bowen Yang is joining me on the podcast. It was the best conversation. It was so much fun. A lot more behind the scenes and insight on how SNL came to be. And he talks about everything Wicked. He talks about pitching me to Lorne Michaels and how that went and just how wonderful he is. But I'm so excited. I also have a really big announcement. I know. I have a big announcement at tomorrow's show. Crazy. I don't even know. Honestly, SNL was like this cherry on top of it was unexpected. Like I wasn't expecting that this New York trip. But I had obviously my show and then another really big announcement to make here. And then the SNL happened, and it's just been a crazy week. So I'm gearing up. I'm resting up. I'm so excited for my show tomorrow. I'm so excited for the announcement at the show. And yeah, what a whirlwind it's been.
It's truly just so crazy to look back at Trisha's whole online journey, because I don't think anyone could have seen this coming a few years ago, but here we are and the internet is celebrating her and certainly made a splash on SNL. I do wonder if she would ever get the chance to do it again. I mean, she really did get a conversation going, and the views on the sketch that she was in are pretty high. And I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't count out the idea that Trisha could be like a first YouTuber to host. I don't think that there's ever been like an online influencer that's ever hosted. Let me know what you guys think about all of this and what you think about what Ethan had to say and how you think Jason and David reacted when they first heard about this. Tell me in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.